So I guess people are like, oh, but you told us that you will tell us what we can use to raise our testosterone levels naturally, so we can not have to use steroids or like the fake supplements. Yeah, I know, but I also realize like a lot of the young kids watch this channel, and it can not be right if they like start taking this stuff, or it might not be the best thing for all of them. So I'm probably not gonna give up this advice, but let's just say okay, so the test boosters or whatever that you buy in stores, right? They work with like herbs and all that. They just like free up like whatever testosterone you might have. They just free up a little bit more of it. You know what I mean? But they don't actually help you produce more most of the times, right? Unless they're like spiked with something. But most of the times, like, they're pretty useless. Like, they won't do anything like worth even like bothering with. And the amount of money they charge, yo man, like you could eat so much food for that money and get bigger and better results, and but at the same time, it's like if I don't give out this advice, like a lot of like people might end up using steroids and thinking, okay, that's the end all be all. Because if you don't really know like much about this stuff, like you see that aspect and you think, yo, that's the way to go, right? But that's only okay for like short term, or if you plan on staying on forever. Because from what I read in my research, it's like, it can mess up a lot of functions in your body. It's not even worth and apparently like they can get kind of addictive, so people can't really stop, or they get, I guess, addicted to like I don't know, like whatever, like building muscle faster or something, I read. And then they don't want to train without it. And then some people come off of them, they don't ever like train again. You know what I mean? They just quit altogether. And then others that do still try to train, they see like the results aren't as good, and they like finally realize what a difference like actually being on steroids makes, and it demotivates them, and they quit altogether. They just don't give it their best anymore. So you're better off just staying natural, because you'll keep your drive to keep like trying to work out, even if like you don't get like the Mr. Olympia or IFBB Pro like results. If you work on like building up your foundation, like your base strength and everything, and then you get shredded, you can look really good. Like I mentioned this before, like it's not exactly about being big. Like when you see like all these people that are really huge, they're just really lean as well. Like they have like, obviously, like the ones on steroids, they have like a shit ton of muscle, but the ones that don't really use or whatever, they have like a nice amount of muscle, but they just have like such low body fats that you really get to see every muscle pretty much, and like it just looks like they're bigger in pictures. But if you were to stand right next to them, like they'd probably be like the same size. You know what I mean? It's just an illusion. And a lot of people don't really understand that. And obviously, then there's like the mass monsters, or like you just get huge. But even that, if they just got fat, they wouldn't look as big or impressive. It's all about the lower body fats, and you could get really far with just natural results if like you kind of know what you're doing, which is mainly just like if you build up like a good base, like foundation of muscle, and then like you lose body fat, like if you can get into the single digits, or even like maybe 10%, you'll look pretty good. I know it's easier said than done, but you know, once you get the hang of it, it's not really that hard. It's just getting there. That's like the hard part. But once you're there, it's pretty easy to maintain. Because, you know, you kind of get into the habit of working out and like you see the results. And like just, you feel better because like you look better. And like the attention you get from the ladies motivates you a bit more, you know. So, but then there does come a point where, like for some people, not everyone, but some people they kind of like grow out of it. Like they kind of like experienced it, and they're seeing, okay, so this is what it's about. Okay, it's awesome, no doubt. But at the end of the day, you know, some people get bored. They see the benefits, they see the attention from the ladies and all that, right? But some people get bored because some people realize that the attention and all that's really just for their physique and like physical attributes, right? And if they were to stop working out and lose all those girls would disappear pretty rapidly. Get it? Rapidly? But yeah. Oh, fat burning catalyst. Even for fat burning, I could tell you guys like way better supplements from the research I've done that actually work, because this stuff is still, you know, nonsense. But, and it's overpriced still for the ingredients they usually have, like green coffee extract. What? Like, you know. So you might be like, oh, so tell us the fat burning supplements too that are the best. Yo, I could, but all these things have side effects. They're dangerous regardless if you don't know what you're doing. Like, obviously, like, there's safe ways to take them, but, you know, you're better off just, like, concentrating, like, on fixing your diet and getting blood work done to see, like, if your hormones are, like, you know, at a good level. That'll take you farther, because if your hormones are like kind of like imbalanced, that could also make it pretty hard for you to like gain muscle or lose fat, you know. So it's more so about the chemistry of the body than, you know, just supplements. Because if you can like, you know, bring your like your natural hormones to like their top potential, it'll help you, no doubt. Like, I mean, if less like testosterone and stuff, like, you know, equals less muscle mass and more fat gains, more testosterone is more likely to lead to better muscle gains and more fat loss. But what do I know? You know, I mean, I don't know. But, like, it's, you know, I'm not gonna talk about the supplements because I can't be giving out that kind of advice. Maybe I'll just create a product with the ingredients that I know actually would work, and then be like, yo, if you guys want like an actual test booster, get the mystical test or whatever. Some people might be like, oh, they could just take like, you know, the oral steroids like D-bol and stuff, you know, but those are just as bad, if not worse. And they still have all the side effects, and they're not gonna actually help your body produce like its own hormones. It's just gonna like, you know, ruin everything pretty much. So, not worth it. At least I wouldn't recommend it. Like I know some people, like from what I've read, like really recommend like D-ball and all this shit. But then like you kind of look at like retired bodybuilders or the ones that stopped taking steroids, and then you see like how they lost all their size, like, and they don't even look like the same person. So, and these are professionals that have been working out for years and should have the muscle memory. And like, you know, because like some people have like this misconception that, yo, if you work out a lot for a long time and you like use steroids or whatever, you can maintain all of it, because like, oh, your muscle matures and like your body gets used to it, and like your natural potential increases and all that shit, right? Not really. I mean, yeah, there's some truth to it, but if you look at like actual retired, like, you know, pro bodybuilders, they don't look anything like what they used to. They don't even look like they lift, you know, after they stop like juicing. So that should tell you like how much of a role juicing really plays in the sport, if you can even call it a sport, to be honest. Like it's really just like a competition of who can take the most, like, you know, steroids or, you know, performance enhancing substances. And then like I guess you can throw in like genetics, because like the muscle insertions and all that, you know, and then like how you respond to gear, and that's pretty much it. So like the top athletes, or like top like IFBB pros, they have like great genetics, right? And they respond well to supplements, and they're taking a shit ton of supplements to get to that level. Like I get it, you know, like I used to be there, like I wanted to just get as many women as possible, right? So it was tempting at one point. It's like, you know, when my buddy was trying to sell me like Deca-Durabolin or Deca-Derbalin or some shit, it was sort of tempting, but, you know, I was like, nah, yo, because I read up on the side effects and stuff, and like it's just weird, man. Like, you know what I mean? It just wasn't my thing. But, you know, I can kind of look back and be like, okay, I can see why it might seem like the best alternative, right? But am I glad I didn't get the Deca-Derbalin or whatever? Yeah, I think I'm pretty glad actually, because, you know, it's like that could have really messed up like your hormones in your body, you know, and you might not always be into working out. Like now I'm not into working out at all, and if I had taken all that stuff, I would have still had to like deal with like the nonsense after effects, right, of taking like the Deca-Durabolin or whatever. So yeah, I guess it's like interest change. So like, don't jump on these things thinking, oh yeah, you'll be on them forever and you'll always be into this shit, because chances are you might not be. Rest in peace, Greg Plitt. This guy was so cool and so motivational. You can actually find his like fitness videos. Like, yeah, obviously he juices big time, no doubt, or used to, but he was like, the stuff he said was pretty motivational nonetheless, right? And even though some people might be like, oh, he looks natural, nah, yo, if you're getting paid, you're using for sure, you know, because he made money off his physique, so he always had to like have like his physique in like the top level, right? And you need to use all these things, but whatever. So everybody's like, oh, you still didn't tell us the supplements. Yeah, because you don't need them. You can like go far natural. I did, at least in my like opinion. Like, you know, I was just as strong, if not stronger, than the people on steroids, right? It just took a lot of hard work, lifting heavy, dedication, definitely dedication, and a lot of food, like high protein food, right? And obviously throwing cardio there too, so you don't get fat. It's pretty simple, man. But number one, just go to your doctors and get your like blood work done and like see where your like hormone levels are at, and if something needs fixing, you know, do it the natural way, do it this way, this is the best way. Steroids are just temporary glory, you know, but natural, that lasts forever, yo.